Hello everyone, Runner85 here, bringing you my build for the 7-star Fire Tera Skeledirge raid. So I have been struggling a bit with this one and tried so many different Pokemon, tried all the different rain setters, tried Weather Ball and Surf Shenanigans, and the Shadow Ball kept getting me. So Skeledirge is part ghost and it learned Shadow Ball. And it was just killing me. And I was like, okay, I need a normal Pokemon. Or we could use the ability Bulletproof, which prevents ball type moves like a Shadow Ball. And Kommo-o also resists fire type moves. And I was like, okay. Oh, and Kommo-o learns Throat Chop, which stops that sound based moves. And so here we are with a Kommo-o build. So Kommo-o is a dragon fighting type, so it is weak to Disarming Voice, which Skeledirge uses on turn 0. So you keep that in mind. But it only uses it once, and then once we throw Chop, we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to have a Tera type ground here because of the fire typing on Skeledirge. We want to hit it with ground type moves. And then, as always, our trusty Shell Bell for our held item. So let's look at the build here. So as I mentioned, Bulletproof is the ability. So that is a regular ability. So definitely double check. If it is Overcoat, you need to use an ability patch. If it is, there's the other one. Oh, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I can't remember. Anyway, just check Cerebi or any of the other things to know if you need an ability capsule or not. Anyway, so Bulletproof prevents ball and bomb moves, which means the Shadow Ball cannot hit us at all unless our ability is suppressed, which happens once during the battle. So that's super helpful. That means it can only use Torch Song, Disarming Voice, or Stomping Tantrum. Well, Torch Song and Disarming Voice are sound-based moves, and so Throat Chop stops those. So then only Stomping Tantrum's going to hit us, and that's not a very strong move. So here is our build. So we have Throat Chop as our primary move. That stops sound-based moves. That is a DLC TM, just so you know. So you do have to have the DLC to have this TM. You can trade your Pokemon to someone with the DLC. They can give it Throat Chop and you can still use it. It's not restricted to the DLC. You only can use it in your game, or you can only add it to a Pokemon in your game if you have the DLC. So keep that in mind. You kind of need Throat Chop for this build to stop the Torch Songs, because every time Skeledirge uses Torch Song, it increases its special attack by 1 stage. And you don't want to be getting hit with a +6 move later in the game. Like, that's not good. So we definitely want Throat Chop here. And the second move we're going to use a lot is Screech. So Screech, here, I can actually do this so you can see. So as you can see, Throat Chop prevents sound-based moves for 2 turns. Screech here lowers the target's defensive stat by 2 stages. So it says harshly lowers, that means by 2 stages. So our plan of attack in the beginning of this battle is Throat Chop, stop the sound-based moves. Then we Screech. That will lower the defense by 2 stages. Then we'll Throat Chop, stop the sound-based moves. Then we will Screech. And we will go back and forth like that until the shield goes up. Once the shield goes up, we can't use Screech anymore. Any status moves are stopped by that shield. So then, by that point, we should have used Throat Chop enough that we'll be able to Tera ground and then use Earthquake. This is our primary attacking move. And our stab move. Once we Tera, we'll be Tera ground. Earthquake is going to be super effective against the fire type Skeledirge. Now, one big caveat of Earthquake, anyone in VGC knows, if there's grassy terrain up, Earthquake's damage is halved. So if your partner, one of your partner NPC Pokemon is Arboliva, which sets up grassy terrain, you're definitely going to exit that raid and start again, because you don't want grassy terrain up at all. That's bad for you. So keep that in mind. That is one caveat of using Earthquake here. You could put Stomping Tantrum on your build instead of Earthquake if you want, because Kommo-o does learn Stomping Tantrum. It's just not quite as powerful as Earthquake here. So we kind of want the power here. And then lastly, we have Protect. And that is to stop the Shadow Ball when our ability is suppressed. So when our stats get reset, our ability is also suppressed. and that means we can be hit by Shadow Ball, which is going to do a ton of damage. So we want to protect on that turn. So here's how here's our plan of attack. It's going to use Disarming Voice on us, and it's going to use Flame Charge on one of the Pokemon in the team to increase its speed. So turn 1, we're going to Throat Chop. That will stop all the sound-based moves, namely the Torch Song, any future turns. And then we're going to use Screech. Now, this is only 85% accurate, as you can see here, so you may not hit, and that's okay. It may happen. It happens. In my testing, I didn't hit them all. So it is what it is. It's the RNG of this game. And then next, I'm going to use Throat Chop. So I'm going to alternate between Throat Chop and Screech. And I'm just going to keep doing that until either I've gotten 3 Screeches off and the defense is -6, or the shield goes up. Once the shield goes up, I can't Screech no more. So keep that in mind. But I got to keep Throat Chopping. So our stats will likely get reset before the shield goes up. Or maybe not. It kind of depends on the timing, how much damage you do, your partner Pokemon. But once your stats get reset on that turn, you need to protect because it's going to hit you with Shadow Ball. After that, you don't need protect anymore. That's why it's at the bottom. Then when the shield is up, we're alternating between Throat Chop and Earthquake because I can't use Screech. And I'm tearing as soon as I can because I want that stab on the Earthquake. I want to do tons of damage. And I want to get healed up. Right? Our Shell Bell is going to heal us up, and the Earthquakes are going to do some good damage once we're Terra'd. And hopefully we've gotten at least 2 Screeches in before the shield goes up. Now, at 50% of Skeledirge's health, it's going to reset its own stats, so the Screech is going to go away. The defense drops are going to go away. But once the shield breaks, we can now go back to Throat Chop and Screech again to lower its defense again. And once we get to -4 or -6, then we Earthquake until the end. And that's the build, basically. So talking about the EVs here, we are 252 in attack and 252 in special defense, with the remaining 4 thrown into HP. So that gives us some pretty good defensive. You can see Kommo-o has quite some good defensive bulk here. And then we are Adamant Nature, which is a positive in the attack stat and a negative in the special. We're only using physical moves here. Throat Chop and Earthquake are both physical moves. So that's the build. I hope you like it. It took a while to kind of figure it out. I was using Clanging Scales or Clangorous Soul, whichever one raises the defenses and attack. The problem is Skeledirge has Unaware as its ability. So any offensive increases you do don't matter to Skeledirge. So you have to lower its defenses to really attack it. So, and I was trying Drain Punch for healing, and that wasn't super effective, so it wasn't doing great. It was working, but it wasn't working amazingly. So then I was like, yes. Throat Chop and Screech were on there, but Earthquake is a much better attack, and Tera Ground is much better. So hope you like this build. I hope it's successful for you. Let me know in the comments below. How did you do? What did you use? Did you use something different? I would love to know what else other people used. Thanks so much, everyone. Happy battling. Alrighty, so let's do this 7-star Fire Tera Skeledirge raid with our Kommo-o build. So as a reminder here, we have Bulletproof as our ability, so Shadow Ball will not be in effect from the Skeledirge. And also we're going to use Throat Chop a lot in order to stop any sound-based moves, which is going to disable Torch Song and Disarming Voice. So that leaves just Stomping Tantrum as its only attacking move. And so we're going to kind of weave in Throat Chops and Screeches initially until the shield goes up, at which point we should be able to Tera and start Earthquaking. And then we're just going to have to use our Throat Chop and Earthquake until the shield breaks again before we can Screech. So this is going to hurt because we are a dragon fighting, so we're 4 times weak to fairy. But we'll gain it back here in this build. Alright, so its speed's going to go up. We're going to Throat Chop right away. And it's going to try to use Shadow Ball on us, and it can't because of Bulletproof, which is great. And now Throat Chop. You can no longer use those moves. Alrighty, so no more Torch Song, so it can't raise its special attack, which is good. Alright, so now I'm going to Screech. This is an 85% accurate move, so it's not always going to work. Sweet. All right, so defense drops by 2 stages. All right, and now we are going to throw chop. We have to keep weaving these in so that it can't use Torch Song. It's going to keep using Stomping Tantrum. It's fine. All right, and we're going to Screech again. Oh, we got 2 of them off. And thank you, Gardevoir, for that heal. Another Stomping Tantrum. Alrighty, here's that heal from Gardevoir. Thank you very much. Alright, got Throat Chop again. We're going to get another heal from Gardevoir. Thank you so much, Gardevoir. So it is definitely nice to have Gardevoir in this raid. It is not necessary, though. These Stomping Tantrums aren't doing a whole lot. Alright, shield has gone up. If it resets our stats, we want to protect because we no longer have Bulletproof. So so here comes that reset. Alrighty, so now's when we protect. Okay, it tried to use one of those moves. It can't anymore. We're going to protect. Our ability was, there's the Shadow Ball. Our ability was turned off. It's trying to hurt us. Alrighty, we're good. Alrighty, and we can Tera now. And we're going to throw chop here because we need to disable. We're on that every other turn now, so we got to disable Torch Song and Disarming Voice again. And we're tearing just to be immune. Not immune, but so our Earthquake's take harder after this. So there's Shadow Ball again. We are immune to that. Now our ability is back, thankfully. Alrighty, here comes that throw chop. Beautiful. Alrighty, our health is doing good. So now we can't Screech because the shield is up. So we're going to use Earthquake here. And we managed to get two Screeches in before the shield. So this should do pretty good here. Yeah, it's not bad. That should break the shield pretty quickly. All right, so we got to throw trap again. Remember, we got to keep weaving these in. What we're doing is preventing it from using Torch Song and raising its special attack, which will hurt us. So now it's Earthquake, and you just kind of keep alternating this back and forth, back and forth. Sweet. You can see we're about to break that shield. And these Stomping Tantrums do nothing. If you want to check the disable, see how Throat Chop has disabled it. All right, so we're going to Earthquake. This should break the shield. Ooh, we're so close to breaking the shield. All right, we're back to full health, though, which is good. And there, it resets its stats. It uses Stomping Tantrum on us. And the shield is now broken. Beautiful. Now we can start to Screech again. So we're going to throw chop, though, because that has expired. And we're going to Screech. We got to lower this defense here. There we go. Beautiful. So one of them went through. We're going to try to get at least one more. Ooh, that's doing a little more damage than I like. Okay, here comes the Flame Charge. It's going to hurt a little bit, but we're okay. We don't resist this anymore. The Flame Charge we resisted because of our Dragon typing before. We don't anymore, unfortunately. That's okay. We're doing fine here. We're going to Screech again after this. And then we can Earthquake. Okay, Screech one more time. Oh, we are hitting all the Screeches here. That's so great. In my testing, I kept missing them, which was so depressing. Alrighty. We're going to Earthquake now. Alright, doing pretty good. Not great, but not bad. Alrighty. We're gonna throat trap now. Ooh, Skeledirge can't move because it's paralyzed. Thank you, Belly Bolt. Another Stomping Tantrum. So I try to use 2 moves. Alrighty. Ooh, throat chop. Okay, no more of that for you. Yep, and it tried to use one of those moves it can no longer use. Nice. Alrighty, Earthquake. Should do some good damage. It won't quite break the shield unless we crit. Ooh, so close. We're almost there. Ooh, we did crit. Oh, and the crit wasn't even enough. Yeah, if I could get one more Screech, it'd be at -6, which would be helpful, but that's okay. Another Stomping Tantrum. It's still trying to use those moves that it can't use. All right, we're going to throw chop here. This should knock it out. And there it goes. Beautiful. We got Skeledirge, finally. I tried so many rain Pokemon, you know, setting up the rain, using Weather Ball, using Surf, and just could not get it. And finally, I was like, I need a Bulletproof Pokemon. That Shadow Ball was just killing me every time. And I was doing an Ursaluna build, but Ursaluna is only available if you have Legends Arceus, so that didn't feel quite fair. So this build is also not super fair because you have to have the DLC to get Throat Chop, but you could trade with someone to get Throat Chop, so that would be helpful. Okay, I'm going to use the Fastball here because it's got the yellow with the fire and the red. Oh, I love that ball. It's so cool. So this build works. It's not super fast. Obviously, if you have a bunch of people, you can all Screech and really drop the defense quickly. So that definitely helps. But not super necessary. If one person is throat chopping and screeching and everyone else is attacking, that also could work. Ooh, lots of Herba Mystica. I like that. And Fire Tera is definitely helpful. And definitely need another ability patch. I had to use it on this Kommo-o. It had its hidden ability. Well, thank you so much for sticking around if you made it to the end of this build. I hope you can catch your Skeledirge. If you use something different, let me know in the comments below. I want to try other builds. I built so many Pokemon trying to get this to work and finally got frustrated and took a break and came back today. And this Kommo-o build is the one to do it. So thank you so much, everyone. Happy battling.